Well, we talk a lot about the threat of Islamism, the far left, and anybody that is against the Western civilization and our Christian values on this channel quite a lot. Now, we also talk a lot about those who call themselves so-called moderate westernized cultural Muslims. They need to speak out. And we always try to be their voices as well when they do speak out, like yesterday, mostly because a lot of them cannot just easily leave the religion because they will be in a lot of trouble. But at times you also get some brave people who actually do it. This is an ex-Islamic, a Londoner, Yunus, who decided to come out and speak out against what's actually going on in that ideology. Let's go.
I come from a Muslim background myself. I'm not a Muslim anymore, because I know too much about Islam. I know too much. And I don't talk about, Muslims as a whole. Of course, I'm not talking about every Muslim, but Islam as an ideology is deeply dangerous and problematic. And in order to see that, you have to just go and read the Quran, read the Hadiths, and look at the life of Muhammad. And when I see the people in the streets shouting Sharia for UK, that really worries me. Because in the Middle East, one of the reasons that the societies in the Middle East are held back is because of Islam. And countries such as Dubai, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, they've come to this realization that if they want to come to the 21st century, they cannot be living by barbaric rules. So as I was saying, is that the problem is even Islamic countries have come to this realization. But then we have people in the streets that preach hate, they preach all kinds of nonsense, and this is a threat to British democracy. And this idea that you cannot speak about anything anymore without being called Islamophobic or homophobic or xenophobic or racist, and that's how they stop freedom of speech. And as my friend was saying here, is that once you tolerate everything, you stand for nothing. Okay? In a free society, in a democratic society, we have to have freedom of speech. Okay? We're not Islamophobic for questioning Islam. We're not homophobic for questioning the gender madness of LGBTQ. Okay? We're not, sexist if we talk about some parts of, feminism and toxic feminism. So I'm a free speech advocate. I hope everyone stands up and speak up, because obviously I'm just one individual. And what I'm trying to do is to inspire people, especially with the background that I have. There's not a lot of people from my background that would come and speak about Islam the way I do. And like a lot of people say to me, you should be worried, you should be scared. And this is a problem, You can make fun of Christianity, you can make fun of Judaism, but if you speak about Islam, then all of a sudden it's a normal thing for you to get death threats. Why is that a normal thing in society? That should never be normalized, ever. Thank you. And finally, I just wanted to say that, thank you for having me. And I'm just basically, oh, sorry, one more thing I wanted to say about Sadiq Khan. And, again, so, Sadiq Khan, every time something bad happens, he always hides behind Islamophobia and racism. And I think that's just absolutely ridiculous. He's the worst mayor that London has ever had. And every time you criticize him, he's like, oh, you're Islamophobic. And he, pandas. He was a lawyer that was supporting people that were terrorists before in his career. He turns a blind eye to Islamification and dangerous rhetoric that has been said in the mosques. Because sometimes I go to those mosques and he doesn't do anything about it. And if you do question it, he says, oh, you're Islamophobic. No, I'm not. I'm Persian. I grew up in a Muslim household. My granddad memorized the whole of the Quran. And I love my granddad. He was a great guy. However, the people, the moderate Muslims that we talk of, they're the ones that cherry pick the Quran. If you actually truly believe in the word of Islam, there's a reason why all the terrorist groups in the world, ISIS, Boko Haram, Taliban, the way they are, is because they actually follow the word. And that is a problem for the West. We need to stop this, because this has happened throughout history, that Muslims have a responsibility to Islamize the whole world. It actually says it in the Quran. And we in the West, not just in the UK, in the US or Europe, we have to speak up about this. Okay? We're not Islamophobic for standing for the truth. Thank you.